Afternoon, all. Well, that was enjoyable, wasn't it? It finished Leverkusen 4, West Ham nil. There's no Nick this afternoon. He has swanned off somewhere and he's left it to me. Uh, but he's having a meltdown on WhatsApp as we speak. That was a terrible watch. That was a really terrible watch from us. We showed nothing, did we? The players weren't there. They didn't even look interested. If you look at Paqueta, his body language, like he didn't want to be there. You know, just a little thing at the end where Bowen came off for Cornet. Bowen didn't even make eye contact with Cornet. He was just staring at the ground as he came off. The players looked so unmotivated. They didn't have a clue what to do playing against Tim Stiedten created. Open, progressive, fast, exciting, innovative, fantastic team with such excellent movement. I mean, that's the sort of football we all dream of with West Ham, isn't it? But it ain't going to happen with Moyes. I'll tell you, if Moyes stays, there's only one place we're going, and that's down. And that's why he can't stay. He's got to go now, right? And I know this is a recurring theme, and I know we expect it to happen. But God, if Sullivan needs to see any more proof of the impact of Tim Stighton and his decisions over what David Moyes tries to do, then that was a graphical illustration. Now, I hope Moyes went out there. I hope Moyes went out there to Leverkusen. He probably didn't. But I hope he did. This is that was a footballing lesson we got there. We got humiliated, absolutely humiliated. It was 4-0. We were lucky to get nil. Let's be honest. They were all over us. They even took their foot off the gas in the second half. And so look, let's go through the game. I mean, and bear with me, it's the first time I've done one of these live things. Nick usually does them, right? And he's delegated to me today. So doing the comments and talking at the same time, it's going to be fun. John usually does that. Anyway, so first half. So what was our attacking intent? I mean, we pushed high. We had a high press for about 2 minutes until they started coming onto us, right? When they started coming onto us, we dropped deep. We went back into our shell. That was literally after a couple of minutes. They were just pinging the ball around us. You had 2 traffic cones in Pucek and Downs in the middle. And they were chasing shadows. I'm not going to blame Downs for it because I still haven't seen Downs, apart from when I saw him play alongside Deck, which was very few times. He's usually alongside Souček. At least he has been recently. And no one's going to look... he ain't Declan Rice. So look, first of all, what was our attacking intent in that first half, right? I mean, it was centre halves were hoofing it long. So we ended up sitting back and hoofing it long up to Souček. And then we were waiting for a set piece. I mean, no wonder he wants to sign Will Prowse, because it's literally his tactic for scoring goals, his set pieces. They kept running at us. It was like and this happened at Rennes last week, according to Nick, and I noticed it today. The midfield just opened up like the Red Sea. It was embarrassing. I mean, there was just nothing there. And I hope we make some signings, but to be honest, those signings, they'll be wasted on Moyes. Is he going to drop Souček? Say we signed Fofana and Alvarez. Is he going to drop Souček? That's the test, isn't it? Because I reckon he's more likely to drop one of the others. So look, they murdered us in the first half. They really gave us a footballing lesson. A great free kick from a Zuma challenge. And this is what happened. We got caught. We've got no pace. As soon as somebody gets past that back line, there's no catching them. So Zuma had to foul the bloke. Great free kick. The second goal was a beautiful goal. You've all seen it. You're all watching this on YouTube, so I assume you saw the game, so I ain't going to describe it. But it was a training ground goal, wasn't it? I mean, they've done that 100 times before in training. And then the third one, again, Ogbonna, one of our other slow centre-halves, got caught out. Great finish. I mean, it was a lesson. It was a footballing lesson. So you're 3-0 down at half-time as a manager. What do you do? It's a friendly, right? So it doesn't really matter. What would you do? Would you try to maybe go for it? Would you go for it? Would you maybe change it around, put another attacker on, or do something like that? You probably would, wouldn't you? Not David Moyes. What did he do? He went to a fucking back five. He tried to defend the 3-0. I mean, this. You can't make this shit up, right? You cannot make this shit up. Mabama went off. Antonio came on. Neither of them touched the ball. We were defending. At one point, we had 11 men behind the ball in the second half, deep in our own half. It was so embarrassing. He was just trying to stop the damage limitation. He got fucking embarrassed today, embarrassed by the bloke that he's trying to ignore, right? The bloke that built that team of quality. Bloke don't have a fucking clue, right? Even after that, I mean, you can imagine what his post-match interview is going to be like. I don't want to watch it, honestly, but I'll predict it. He'll say, "Oh, where is it? You know, I thought the boys were excellent today. I couldn't ask for more. Still pre-season. A few pieces of luck didn't go our way, and if Tommy had converted that corner, we'd be back in it." I won the first trophy in 43 years, by the way, so the fans have got to be patient. I think that's what the post-match interview is going to be. But anyway, look, in the second half, Leverkusen were toying with us. We nearly scored early on because the keeper dropped the ball, but Benny couldn't even convert an open goal. It was an open goal, right? It was an open goal. The penalty, I just watched Gio. He said it wasn't a penalty. Yeah, well, I think it was because the trailing leg took the guy out. And I think that's the rules, isn't it? If you take a bloke out, whether you've taken the ball first or not, you take the bloke out. Yeah. But again, I don't blame Aguerd because it was a last-minute desperate challenge. The commentary. I mean, that the people who were commentating for West Ham, they really had their work cut out, didn't they? Really, really had their work cut out. They were trying to make a positive out of everything. And you know, in the second half, when they should have gone 4-0 up, you know, when we were playing a high line and got absolutely caught and the guy got through one-on-one with the keeper, should have shot early, but delayed it and then Kehrer slid in, right? The commentary team said, fabulous defending from West Ham. He didn't say, oh, that's a great interception from Kehrer. He said, fabulous defending from West Ham. They've just been caught out and let the guy through one-on-one. It's not fabulous defending from West Ham. And there were numerous examples like that. Numerous examples where they were just, I don't know, it's like propaganda. It's like Chemical Alley from you know, Saddam's head of communications. You know, they were just in denial all the way through. But anyway, it's a thankless task being a West Ham commentator. I get that. Right. So what we saw was what Tim Stiedten can bring to us. And I don't know about you, but I'm sure you're all the same. That was a beautiful thing to see, the way they played football. That is exactly the kind of football we need. Imagine looking forward to going to see West Ham, knowing that you're going to have that kind of team with that kind of, you know, with that kind of strategy and that kind of ability. I know it'd take a while to do that, but my God, that is if Sullivan needs any more convincing than that, then he needs to have his head examined. Okay, what else? I mean, there's nothing else really to say from the game other than we literally tried to score from set pieces. That was our only lame way of trying to score a goal. The players look completely demoralised and uninterested. I'm sick of this shit. I really am sick of this shit. It's so predictable. It's so predictable. It hurts. We knew it was coming. We called it last night. And we even said last night, through gritted teeth, that it'd probably be quite nice to see Moyes taught a lesson. But to be honest, it doesn't feel nice. It feels a bit embarrassing. But it's good, probably, I guess, that it happened. But what you got to feel for, really, in all this, is the fans. We've got some crazy fans, haven't we? We've got some people who went over there to Germany. Have a close-up look at that and look at those heads. There's one guy up there in the top left-hand corner. He's just looking at the ground, staring at the ground. I mean, I know those guys are going to have a good time later. They're going to have a few beers and drown their sorrows and everything else. And that's all part of it. But fuck me, give them something to cheer about. Don't go to Germany and not even turn up, you bunch of wasters. So, what's it mean for Bournemouth next week? That's an interesting one, isn't it? What did Moyes take from that? What positives did he take from that game today that he's going to build into his team at Bournemouth next week? Mickey up front by himself, Souček in the middle, maybe with Downs, or if Alvarez joins, with Alvarez, right? Because he ain't dropping Souček. No, this is unacceptable. It's really unacceptable. It's gone beyond unacceptable, right? We're going to go to Bournemouth and we're going to get thumped. They're going to want the revenge as well for what we've done to them last year, aren't they? He will. Right. I'm going to start going through some of your comments now because, sorry, I can't go all the way to the top. That's just not, I can't do that. Sod that. So I'll concentrate on the ones that come in now. Let me know what you think. We'll talk about it. Bournemouth must be shitting themselves. Yeah, I bet they are actually. Yeah, yeah, they must be watching that. Must be having a few beers, I imagine. No injuries. That is a positive. That is a positive. Well done. Come on, 8:30. Um, he'll play five at the back again. Well, I think that is when we're losing. That is his go-to, isn't it? That is his go-to. We're losing 1 or 2-0. Switch to a back five. Damage limitation. Go for it in the last few minutes. So it's kind of a version of what he always does anyway. He should take himself away from management. God, I wish he would. I wish he would. But he thinks he's the best manager in the world. He thinks his way is the only way. He's a European champion. E. Davis. Do you know that? Don't know if you mentioned it. First trophy in 43 years. Wonder who will be up top alone next week. I think you know the answer to that, don't you? What else? I think Stiedten and Potter would definitely work. I totally agree. Totally agree. Potter cannot handle being the manager of a club with all that other shit that's going on, right? Put him in as a coach, take the decisions for him, right? As in picking players, signing players, even football strategy and stuff like that, and just say, look, you go coach, right? Here are your players, you go coach. That's what he did at Brighton. And he was really successful at it. And I love what Brighton did when he left. They already had their next manager lined up. They went and got the next one. That's the way football clubs should be run. He learned nothing. Of course he didn't, because he knows everything already, Paul. 3-0. Yeah, I think I'd go for that. I can't see us scoring unless we get a set piece. He hasn't got a Scooby Moyes. No, he hasn't. Sullivan should be on the blow now to Potter's agent. Yeah, he should. But apparently, I mean, if you listen to what Nick said last night, we've got a list of managers, a list of targets already. I mean, fucking hell, just the way it's going at the moment, it'll be like 1 or 2 really embarrassing Premier League games, and then he'll get the bullet. But it doesn't need to go that long. It doesn't need to go that long, does it? Although the blame should be on the ball, the players are to blame for not trying today. Yeah. I think the players were terrible. You're right, but the way the manager set them up was also terrible, right? You've got to give players a chance to win a game, haven't you? You know, and how did he do that exactly? How did he give that set of players a chance to win a game? It was hardly inspiring, was it? Go out there, lads, and stop Leverkusen scoring. That's what he did. Oh, and we're going to let Mabama, the guy who's just the excellent striker from the youth team, we're going to let him run around on his own up front. I mean, that would have inspired the likes of Paquetá, wouldn't it? And Bowen. It's just amazes me. We still have no coaching staff. No, we don't. He did start pre-season in Australia with 2 up front, and it looked really good. But yeah, that ain't the way he plays, right? David, your poor son. But at least he'll have a few beers. What we need to do is take. And sorry, by the way, if I'm missing a load of comments because I'm crap at this, and they just went whoosh. They just went up, and I forgot where I was. So I'm just sort of randomly picking them out. What we need to do is take a look at our past. We need a modern day John Lyle, progressive manager, good formation tactics. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what we need. That's exactly what we need. And someone that respects the club as well. Someone that's grateful for being there. Someone that doesn't think they're bigger than the club and thinks we're little old West Ham who just want to come and manage us, Mr. Moyes. We're a bit poor. No, fuck that. We will lose to Luton too. Well, we kind of always did, didn't we? I know it's been a long time, but I'm sure normal service will be resumed. At least our new signings look good today. They were top drawer, weren't they? Do you really think he'd be sacked? Yes, I do. And again, watch the video from last night for the reasoning behind that. But, you know, it's only going to stack up. It's only going to stack up. And if we sign players that he didn't approve of, again, that's going to make him rebel. Apparently, he gave an ultimatum to that. This is how fucking deluded he is. He gave an ultimatum to David Sullivan and said, "You get my players, or I'm walking." And yeah, that didn't go down too well, apparently. So let's have a look. That was a video nasty. Yeah, it was worse than that. Don't show it to your kids. disconnected strikers. That is the way, though, that he plays, right? Disconnected strikers. He just puts a bloke up front and tries to get him to occupy defenders and maybe pick up a second ball or something like that. The defenders are not really the strikers are not really part of the overall attacking strategy, are they? They're there to pick up, as Michael Antonio said, Michael Antonio said, they feed off scraps. That's exactly what they do. That's what a single striker does. What's the better? We play five at the back, two up top after selling Scamacca. Nah, no chance. He should have left after the final. Stop burying your head in the sand. Say thanks, but goodbye. Otherwise, bottom six all year. Listen, if he stays, and nothing's guaranteed, right? If he stays, we're going down, Ken. We're going down. He ain't gonna keep us up. He's completely. You can see from those players today that he does not have the dressing room. You know, he puts them out there, gives them instructions. They're all thinking, "Fucking hell, here we go again. Here we go again." And he's got, he's got some great players there. He's got Bowen, Paqueta, some really, really great players. I mean, I don't know. It's all about, for me. It's all about tactics and imagination and ambition. And he has no ambition. He has no ambition at all. Yeah. Right. Okay. So the only way this club's going to change is if people don't go, no money, they do something. Yeah, but that's a problem. We're a captive audience, right? I'm not stopping going. I've watched West Ham through some right shit in the past, worse than this. But I'm still going to go. It's West Ham. It's what I do. Yeah, you're right. People stay away, but nah, I don't think that. I don't think no one's going to buy into that. Yes, and that is exactly what Scamacca will do, Sean. He will bang goals in left, right, and centre for Atalanta. You know it, right? You know it. You know he's a good player. You know he's a good player. You knew Haller was a good player too, didn't you? We won't be getting a replacement for Scamacca. It took us 18 months to find him. Well, look, I think this could all change if Moyes fucks off. But we are linked with Divock Origi, and I wouldn't be averse to that because in a Moyes ball system, he's probably the best. He's better than Antonio. He's probably the best Antonio replacement you're going to get for decent money, right? After Moyes goes, then Divock Origi is no good to you. So, and that's the same as that Brozier bloke at Chelsea. He's for a Moyes system. He wouldn't really work in a progressive system. Bournemouth are going to bend us over. Yes, they are. Nigel, I know you've been watching paint dry today, literally. Didn't watch the game. It don't matter. 85, we lost every preseason. I lay money on we beat Bournemouth. I'll take that bet off you. I'll bet you a tenner, Nigel. How can anybody be Moyes in? Keep taking the tablets. Yeah. Look, each their own, right? I wouldn't take the piss out of someone who's Moyes in. That's your choice. Want to be Moyes in? Go away, fill your boots. The one thing I don't like is that's the attitude the way it should be. What I don't like is the Moyes in people saying, "Oh, you don't know what you're fucking talking about," because that's what they do, isn't it? They tell you they tell you you're a mug, and you should calm down and give him respect because 3 years in Europe and first trophy in 43 years. Blah 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 blah. I don't know how they tolerate the football though. Honestly, I went to a lot of games last year, and with every home game, my routine is to go and have a few beers before the game, right? And last season, I didn't do it so much because I was always running late, it seemed, and so I watched a load of games stone cold sober. And frankly, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it because you start taking notice of the football. And when you're watching Moyes, you really don't want to do that. You want to be pissed. Get pissed before you go in. It's the only way to enjoy it. Here on Claret and Booze. Right. Calling the team for next week. This is Zaka's. Fab, Sufal, Agwed, Ogbonna, Kera, Emerson, Suchek, Downs, Paqueta, Benny, Bowen, Antonio. I think you're probably almost bang on there, actually. He will definitely. I think he'll definitely prefer a 5 because he'll look at that game today and say, "Oh, much better second half." Right? We only conceded 1 rather than 4, or rather than 3. So he'll take that as a positive. He'll take that as a positive. And is what it is. We do have to put him out of his misery, Stuart. Yes, we do. I don't want Sully hiring no manager and starting to do it. Well, that's the idea, Rich, because that is Stiedten's job as part of his director of football role. And if Sullivan empowers him to do that, that's what he'll do. So you got to hope that Sullivan does do that. I really hope that Sullivan went over there today and saw that firsthand and thought, "Fucking hell, this is mind blowing." But I wouldn't. I don't think anything blows David Sullivan's mind. Okay, Craven. Even if we make a signing or two next week, they won't play against Bournemouth. Yeah, wait 3 months. Yeah, so they're not ready yet. They're not ready for the Premier League yet. No, you can't just bring people in and throw them into the team. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. He'll be ready in 3 months. I completely agree with you, Craven. That's exactly what it would do. And I think ultimately, if we were to get Fofana and Alvarez and he did that, that is what would get him fired. I'd fucking fire him, wouldn't you? Imagine if you went and did all that, especially Sullivan paying out a fortune for his super agent to get Fofana, like a bidding war, beating all these other teams off. You bring him in, and Moyes says, "Nope, got to wait at least 3 months." We've been shit for 18 months. Yeah, we have. Apart from the odd high point like Sevilla, like well, it's Europe basically, isn't it? It's Europe and Man U and one or two other league games. Other than that, it's been utter dross. I mean, we really didn't beat anybody last season, apart from the bottom five. Excuse me. Got to get rid of this cough. Killing me. We harp on about brand of football, but it serves as an advertisement. Yeah, it does. It does. That is part of your brand. It's a really good point, Josh. Who the fuck would want to be associated with the bland crap that we serve up? It is an entertainment, right? More than anything, it's a sport, but it's also an entertainment. Imagine watching a film produced by David Moyes. That'd be an exciting film, wouldn't it? Downs was class at Swansea. Another player ruined by the system. See, I don't think he's ruined. I think he's just been unfortunate who he's playing alongside. We know Souček is a bit crap. He was very crap today. Couldn't pass. Those problems that he's got, like he can't cope under pressure, he can't pass, they're not going away. And so, and Rice was covering for him. Now, you can't expect Downs to cover for him as well. Now, I'm in two minds about Downs. I'm not going to write him off yet, but one thing's for sure, I don't think you can judge him until he's playing alongside strong players. That's all I say. Moyes says our goal difference after 6 games will be ridiculous. Yeah, it'll be minus 25, I think. What must the players be thinking? I wish he'd fuck off. That's what they're thinking, Dan. Okay. The players don't want to play for him. That's what I think. Cresswell on strike. Scamacca already in Italy. Apparently Mickey's not interested. Didn't look interested today, did he? Having said that, we're up against a very good side. He didn't get a kick. And Paul Mabama. That is the kind of chance. The poor kid's been slamming in goals left, right and centre. Playing in a front two for the youth team. Looking brilliant. Looked brilliant for us in Australia in a front two. Now he gets to, as a relative kid, he gets to trawl a lone furrow up front, surrounded by adult defenders. It's amazing. The guy's going to be demoralised unless something changes. We'll get played off the park by Bournemouth. Yeah, they've got a new manager. They had Gary O'Neill when we slaughtered them last year, didn't they? And yeah, I think they're going to be an improvement on what we beat that day. They were terrible that day. I was there. It was great. Elbow 73 says, I read somewhere we sold Scamacca because Moyes said, yes, get rid of him. Yeah, well, I think you can read between the lines of what Stuart Pearce said about Scamacca the other day. And it was on TalkSport. He said, it was, he ain't pulled up any trees. He ain't really proven in the Premier League. Glossing over the fact that he ain't really had a chance in the Premier League and he was injured and everything else. I think it's more to do with what I heard, which is that Scamacca absolutely despises Moyes. And he was part of those that little group of players who was giving Moyes a hard time last year. Cresswell, Antonio, Lanzini, all the others, all the ones he's trying to get rid of. And Scamacca was apparently giving him death stares from the corner of the dressing room, which I would have liked to have seen, I must admit. Again, that's just a bit of gossip, but I like it. Moyes must be so thick-skinned, just like Maguire at Man U. Nobody wants you, so yeah. Well, he is. He shows every trait of a classic narcissist. He knows everything. He knows best. Right, I'm going to keep this up for another couple of minutes, and I'm going to go but this has been fun actually. I don't mind doing these solo ones, but I'll leave it to Nick because he's usually really angry after a game like this, and even I enjoy watching him. Right, right. Let's pick a few new ones. Let's pick a few new ones before I go. Let's go all the way down to the bottom, and they keep bloody scrolling. Stay still, will you? Right. Leverkusen must be shit. They only scored 4. Yeah, honestly, they murdered us, didn't they? So embarrassing. Skamaka news makes me sad. Yes, indeed. Me too. Pierce's Moyes puppet. He proved that yesterday. Uh, the Moyes film would be what Nigel did today. Watch paint drying. Yeah, it would be actually. That'd probably be a bit too exciting for Moyes, though, wouldn't it? A bit too risky, a bit too edgy. Oh, there was a good one there. Hang on a minute. Everyone needs to chill out. We had a poor game in pre-season against Champions League opposition. Did Spurs in the other week. Yeah, Spurs had like 45 shots on goal, didn't they, in that game? Very lucky not to score. I mean, I'd take the win against Spurs every day of the week. You know I would. But and to be honest, Lewis, not really stressed. Not really stressed because I think he's gonna be gone soon. And I think we're gonna be getting some players in soon. Whether he'll make use of them or not, I don't know. I doubt it. But you know, is what it is. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Right, let's pick 2 more. Hawaiian Hammer. Oh God. Nick will be spitting feathers. Yes, he will. I can vouch for that actually. I mean, WhatsApp's been in meltdown. Yeah, I love your attitude, Gary. We're fucking shit and stay that way until we get room. What's the point in getting stressed about it, right? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's a load of old shit at the moment. But what was served up today is nothing we ain't seen before, and more importantly, it's nothing we didn't expect. Moyes is so predictable. We knew what he was going to do, especially in the second half. If 3-0 down, go for it. I'll go back 5. I'll go back 5. And that's another point as well. Spurs totally owned us. Yeah, they did, didn't they? They did. But we beat them, so that's all that matters. Fuck them. Right. And that is, I think I'm going to leave it there. Look, thanks all for your company. This brief last 25 minutes. That was quite a good first experience, but I am like first reserve. I'm on the bench just in case. I'm on the bench with John just in case Nick can't make it. All right. So hope you enjoyed the show. See you soon. Come on, you irons.